1. The Bulldozer. The Bulldozer is the first machine on every road project. Its job is straightforward. Push everything out of the way. Soil, rocks, tree stumps, debris. That massive steel blade on the front moves it all. Most road projects use crawler dozers because the tracks grip soft, uneven ground where wheeled machines would sink straight into the mud. A full-size dozer like the Caterpillar D11 puts out over 850 horsepower and moves up to 45 cubic yards of material in a single pass. That's enough to fill a backyard swimming pool in under 10 minutes. But the bulldozer doesn't create anything precise. It doesn't shape. It doesn't grade. It creates the rough form of the roadbed, clearing the path so the machines behind it can start the detailed work. Think of it as the first rough cut on a block of stone, the sculptor shaping the outline before the fine tools come in. Without the dozer, nothing else on this list can even begin. 2. The Excavator. The excavator moves in right behind the bulldozer. It's the most versatile machine on any road construction site. The primary job here is digging, drainage ditches, utility trenches, foundation cuts. But what makes the excavator special is how quickly it adapts. Swap the bucket for a hydraulic breaker, and it demolishes old concrete. Swap it for a grapple, and it handles heavy debris. A machine like the Caterpillar 390 digs over 40 feet deep and lifts more than 20 tons. But here's what most people overlook. The excavator's work determines whether the road survives its first rainy season. Water is the #1 killer of roads. Not trucks, not weather, not time. Water seeps under the surface, freezes, expands, and cracks the pavement from below. The drainage system the excavator builds is the only thing standing between a 10-year road and a 1-year disaster. Get the drainage wrong, and nothing else on this project matters. Bad drainage destroys more roads than heavy traffic ever will. 3. The motor grader. The motor grader is where precision begins. After the dozer roughs out the path and the excavator handles drainage, this machine steps in to shape the surface to exact engineering specifications. It has a long blade, typically 12 to 16 feet, mounted between the front and rear axles. The operator adjusts that blade to within a fraction of an inch. A modern grader like the Caterpillar 14M uses GPS-guided systems to fine-grade a surface to within a quarter inch of design elevation. But the grader doesn't just flatten the ground, it shapes it. Every properly built road has a slight crown. The center sits higher than the edges, so water runs off to both sides instead of pooling on the surface. The grader creates that crown. Without it, rain collects on the road, traffic hits the standing water, and you've got hydroplaning. The grader is the machine that prevents that. Precision on this stage saves millions in repairs down the line. 4. The soil compactor. The soil compactor takes a surface that looks ready and makes it actually ready. Because loose, graded soil can't support traffic. It needs to be compressed until the particles lock together into a dense, stable base. Compactors come in several types. Smooth drum rollers work best on granular soils like sand and gravel. Pad foot rollers, sometimes called sheep's foot rollers, handle cohesive clay soils. Those raised pads knead the material from the bottom up, forcing trapped air out of the ground. A machine like the Bomag BW226 generates over 80,000 pounds of centrifugal force. It doesn't just press the soil down, it vibrates at high frequency, driving moisture and air out from between particles. And the number of passes isn't random. Under-compact and the road settles and cracks within a year. Over-compact and the soil turns brittle. Modern compactors use onboard sensors to monitor density in real time, so every single pass is calculated, not guessed. 5. The asphalt plant. The asphalt plant operates off-site, but nothing happens on the road without it. This is where the actual paving material gets made. The plant heats aggregate, crushed stone, sand, gravel, to around 300 degrees Fahrenheit and mixes it with liquid asphalt binder. A large plant pushes out 400 to 800 tons of hot mix per hour. The mix design is engineered down to exact percentages. The ratio of aggregate sizes, binder content, and temperature all determine how the finished road performs under traffic. Too little binder, and the surface cracks in cold weather. Too much, and it bleeds oil in summer heat, turning dangerously slippery. Once the hot mix is ready, it gets loaded into insulated haul trucks and sent to the paving site. And the moment it leaves the plant, the clock starts ticking. The material has to be laid and compacted before it cools below working temperature. In cold weather, that window can shrink to less than 30 minutes. 6. The Asphalt Paver. The Asphalt Paver is the machine most people picture when they think of road construction. It receives the hot mix from the haul truck and spreads it in a continuous, uniform layer across the prepared surface. The paver has two main parts. The tractor unit drives the machine forward at a controlled speed. The screed, a heated plate at the rear, controls the thickness and smoothness of the asphalt mat as it's laid down. A machine like the Vogela Super 2100 lays a mat up to 30 feet wide in a single pass, at thicknesses ranging from 1 inch to over 12 inches. The operator manages speed, material flow, and screed settings all at once. Pave too fast, and the mat tears apart. Too slow, and the material cools before it can be compacted properly. There's no fixing a bad paving pass after the fact. You tear it out and start over. That's why experienced paver operators are some of the highest paid people on any road crew. 7. The asphalt roller. The asphalt roller turns loose hot mix into the dense, smooth surface you actually drive on. And it's not a single pass job. Most paving crews run 3 rollers in sequence right behind the paver. The breakdown roller makes the first passes while the asphalt is still at peak temperature. It does the heavy compaction, pressing the material together and squeezing out air voids. The intermediate roller follows, refining the density. Then the finish roller makes the final passes to eliminate surface marks and achieve smoothness. Timing is critical. Compact too early, and the roller shoves the mat out of alignment. Too late, and the asphalt has cooled past the point where it compresses properly. The working window is often less than 20 minutes from the moment the paver lays the mat. Miss that window, and you're left with a weak section that'll crack before the first winter is over. 3 machines, 1 narrow window, 0 room for error. 8. The milling machine. The milling machine enters the picture when an existing road needs resurfacing. Instead of building from scratch, the crew removes the worn-out top layer first. The milling machine, also called a cold planer, uses a massive rotating drum covered in tungsten carbide cutting teeth to grind away old asphalt. It can strip anywhere from half an inch to over a foot of material in a single pass. A machine like the Caterpillar PM822 cuts a 7-foot wide path at depths up to 13 inches. The ground-up material rides a conveyor belt straight into waiting trucks. And here's the smart part. That material doesn't go to a landfill. It gets hauled back to the asphalt plant and recycled into new hot mix. On modern projects, up to 30% of a new road surface comes from the old one. The milling machine doesn't just remove roads, it feeds the process that builds the next one. That's engineering efficiency at its best. 9. The line striper. The line striper is the last machine on the job. The road is paved, compacted, and smooth, but it's not finished until it's marked. Line striping machines apply thermoplastic or paint markings to the surface. Center lines, lane dividers, edge lines, crosswalks, turn arrows. Modern striping trucks use GPS-guided systems to lay perfectly straight lines at highway speed. It sounds like the simplest task on this entire list. It's not. A misplaced center line on a highway is a head-on collision waiting to happen. These machines operate at a level of precision most people wouldn't expect, within 1 inch of design specification while moving it up to 15 miles per hour. 1 inch of accuracy at that speed over miles and miles of highway with no second chance. When the striper finishes its last pass, the road is complete. Every machine in this chain did its job, in the right order, at the right time. That's how roads get built.